Hello everybody. I hope you're doing well. We're gonna do a really fun video, which is 5 ways to be happier. So I actually wrote out, it's not even 5, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ways to be happier, even better, even better. Some of these are so much more powerful than you can ever imagine. And I'm gonna sort of chat a little bit about each one, but one of the things I've been hearing the most from people in my practice, in my field, on my platform, in life, family, friends, I've even been experiencing it myself, is like a decrease in joy the last few years as an overall theme. People feeling lost, people not really knowing next steps, even if they don't have per se health issues, it's emotional issues, it's instability in the world. It just seems like everything that happened in the last few years just created like a kind of feeling of not being settled, not being stable, not being sure. And that uncertainty has been stressing a lot of people out. So many people are coming to me feeling depressed, and these are some game-changing habits that can make you happy. Some of them will be like supplements. I'll share a couple at the end that can help, but the majority of them are free things that you can do right now or stop doing that will completely change your life. The first one is stop caring what other people think, okay? The art of unbothered, if you will. A lot of people talk about this, but I'm gonna share why, okay? And I'm also gonna share how, because people are like, well, it's easy to say stop caring what other people think. Here's the reality of people. I know this because I'm a person and I've made these mistakes too. I know this because I've dated people, known people, and shifted, changed, and healed every single interpersonal relationship in my life, even the ones with diehard narcissists who now I get along amazingly with, who are 0% narcissistic with me, okay? Like even family members and stuff. When you shift your energy, everything changes. And when you don't run your life around the opinions and beliefs of other people on this planet, everything gets better in your world. You are more respected. You are more in alignment with yourself. You truly listen to what feels right for you. You're not influenced by others in terms of the choices you make, the decisions you take, the path you go. It just changes everything, okay? It puts you in a power position in your own life and in your own energy field. And it also puts you in a picking position. When you care what other people think, you are essentially what they call a pick-me, which is you do and dance and bounce and act according to what other people will be happy with. You are not yourself. You're a pick-me. You're a maybe if I'm enough of this, I'll be liked. Maybe if I pretend to be like that, I'll get along with them. Anybody who requires you to be anything that is not exactly who you are is not supposed to be in your life. They don't really like you if they're liking a performance, a mask, a version of you, a toned down part of you. You are here to be unapologetically who the F you are. You're not here to please Joanne and Susan and everybody and their cousin who's got their own opinion. Now here's why you shouldn't care. The reason you shouldn't care is because a very large percentage of the population are what we would call NPCs. They are people who are here to show us what not evolving looks like. They're not even people whose opinions necessarily would be any good for us to pay attention to. The second is how people feel about you or what they think about you is a reflection of who they are. For example, a person who judges their own weight harshly is gonna judge every overweight person they see. A person who's insecure about their own skin is gonna notice skin problems in everyone they see. It's not about the other person's skin problem or weight problem. It's about themselves. It's their own insecurity and their own self-obsession. If you are shiny and lovely, it's gonna make people who wish they were shiny and lovely really hate you. But does that mean you deserve to be less shiny and lovely because they wish you were less, right? Like when you govern yourself around what either NPCs or people on their own healing journey that have nothing to do with you, that are projecting their own garbage on you, and you give them the power to control you like a puppet, your moods, your energies. You know, if they complimented you, you feel all good. And if they told you you look bad or tired today, you feel all bad about yourself. Here's the reality. Nothing anybody says is worth absolutely anything. The only thing that's worth anything is how you believe about yourself. And when people say or do things or perceive you a certain way, and it is not how you see yourself, well, all you need to tell yourself is that they are just a dum-dum and they clearly can't read people accurately. And if they say something that hurts your feelings or upsets you or whatever, that is exactly what you believe. Like maybe you've been a lazy ass and you know you've been eating nothing but Doritos and you know you've been meaning to get that gym membership and you got that Danish addiction that you've been trying to treat for 5 years and someone says, hey, you gained a little. That is a mirror. It's there to inspire you to do something about it. It's still not something to like crumble over. It's either a confirmation of what you believe about yourself or an opposite of what you believe about yourself. And either way, the only thing that matters is what you believe about yourself. So if you want to be happier, realize that everybody's irrelevant. And the only thing that matters is how you perceive you, how you feel about you, and who you want to be. Like I realized that so many people in my life have misrepresented me, even publicly. Okay. Oh my God. I have gone out of my way to help people from the deepest of my love and heart, only to have them blast me on the internet because they didn't do what I told them and lied and said I told them something else. I mean, I've seen the weirdest things happen, guys. I've been slandered every way to Sunday. I've had people hate me my whole damn life. And if I let it stop me, I would never have a life that's enjoyable. The absolute truth is none of these people that like hurt my feelings in high school and the people that are trying to hurt me now in 5 years won't matter. Like they're all just a waste of time. It's like mosquitoes when you're in the great outdoors. It's annoying and you got to swat them away and you're like, stop attacking me. I just want to enjoy nature. But at the same time, all that matters is you and nature, you and the world, you and your body, you and your feeling experience. So unless you want to have cheap energy, which means anybody and their cousin can manipulate you because, you know, they say yes and you jump. They say no and you cry. They say you look good and you feel amazing. They say you are dumb and you feel horrible. Okay, like unless you want to literally be like just flimsy in the wind, not yourself at all, and you want to be miserable and always having your mood controlled by others, you best learn to recognize how irrelevant everybody else is. They don't know you. They don't know how you think. They don't know your spiritual journey. They are just here as a mirror, either to reflect their nastiness on you or to reflect your goodness back to you or your traumas back to you. But either way, there's always a lesson for you, and you just witness and let it go and don't take it personally. Okay, so stop caring what others think. I promise you, you will be a way happier person. The next is sneak micro joy habits into each day. So many people tell me like, oh, and I have felt this, okay? I'm an extremely high functioning mental human, not saying like the smartest, but like I think a lot, I create a lot, I just get bored pretty easily. I get understimulated easily, like conversations where I'm not learning anything or teaching something. Like growth always has to be involved where I want to be involved. So in life with everyday mundane, it's not always that exciting, right? Even for me. So here's what you do to make every day feel like magic. The reality is this: life is sucky and lame for everybody unless you make special moments magic. When you do nothing, when you're in your body, when you pay attention, when you feel the breeze, when you hear the birds, when you go for walks, when you listen to your lover talking, when you talk to your mother, when you're there with your pet, all of those special micro moments are the things that make life meaningful. If you were gonna die in a week, you wouldn't look back and be like, I really wish I made that work deadline. I wish I had had time to get my dream body. Damn, I wish I had been able to cure my autoimmune disease before I died spontaneously. Okay, none of that stuff would matter. You wouldn't sit there and be like, damn, too bad I have that forehead pimple. You know, none of the things we think about or that we spend our day paying attention to would matter at all if time was limited. But you know what we would miss the most is like not spending that extra minute talking to your mother. You know, not like listening when your partner talks to you and doom scrolling instead. If they got hit by a bus 2 days later, you'd spend the rest of your life regretting that you ever doom scrolled, okay? Instead of enjoying every moment with them. So what matters to humans is the feeling state. It's the enjoyment of each moment. It is the senses of being an actual human on earth. So here are some micro habits that you can add in, and you can choose and pick, and you can add others. You don't have to do these, but like I can share some of the ones that make a difference for me. going for morning walks at sunrise, watching the sunset, especially really beautiful, magical ones, going somewhere where there's a beautiful view and taking like 20 minutes to sit and watch the sunset. Like if I'm even driving on the highway, sometimes I will pull over and I will like take photos and I will like stop and look at the sunset. It's so beautiful. If I'm in traffic, I'll be like magnetized by it or whatever. Other things could be like going to the gym, but like wearing your cutest outfit, making your favorite electrolytes, doing a workout routine that you actually love, making a morning coffee or matcha or electrolyte mix or fresh juice, but that you really like the taste of. Then going outside to sit and enjoy it. Having an afternoon, like 4 p.m. tea with a little piece of chocolate or something that you really love and taking the time to savor it. When you're cooking, instead of just angry Joe in the kitchen slamming dishes around trying to make everything super fast, you can put on awesome music, pour yourself a kombucha, or God forbid, a glass of vino if you drink wine, organic and biodynamic, of course, or just a fresh juice, or just anything, water kefir, or your coconut kefir, or anything, okay, that you want. And just sip something in a nice, beautiful wine glass, make it all pretty, and listen to music and dance and sing and hum while you make the food. For example, when I'm driving far distances, like alone, let's say, I love blasting music like so loud, okay? Like obviously doors closed, we're not trying to assault anybody. Windows closed, I mean. And then I sing really loud in the car. So I just do like my own version of karaoke, and I could drive like 3 hours like that. I love it. But if I'm just trying to drive in quiet, I freaking hate driving. It's so boring. I'd much rather be the passenger. But that's really fun. Or like when you're organizing your house, put on your favorite podcast, put on music that you love. You know, like take time to check in with people that you care about and be like, hey, just letting you know I'm thinking about you, and have people write you back like, oh, this is so sweet, thank you so much, and have precious moments with people. Take the time to tell people how you feel about them. You know, take the time to sit with your pets and play with them. So many people like walk their dog and they like have to walk their dog, and it's just like, okay, let me get this done and walk my dog. But they're missing the whole point of bonding with the dog. Play with the dog in the park, roll in the grass with the dog. He waited all day, or she waited for you to go on this walk in the house patiently, like the best part of their day. And you're just trying to get it done so you can get home and like watch the freaking sports game. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, we miss all the magic. And then we want to know why at 80 years old, we look back and we feel like our life was unfulfilling, or why our marriages fail, or why our friendships fall apart, or why like our pets are lonely and get sick and get disease and die prematurely. It's because we're not there. We're not what we're supposed to be, which is love-based. So fill your day with things that are beautiful and magical to you. It could be going and working in a coffee shop instead of like at home at your desk, going and getting your favorite tea somewhere, going and exploring your city or town as if you're a tourist and you've never been there before. Because I promise you, no matter what town or city you live in, you have certainly and guaranteeably not seen every single part of that city. Okay, there's coffee shops and restaurants and little alleyways and little cobblestone areas and cute little artsy fartsy shops and galleries and cool little markets that you've never been to, that you didn't even know were there. Okay, little immigrant shops, whatever. Go and check it out. Try to find natural clothing styles in your area. Go and do ceramics, like build something, create something, join a community. You can volunteer. There are so many things you can do to make life more fulfilling, but nobody in this day and age with access to everything we have should not have at least like 15 joyful moments every single day. And it can even be super basic, like going and putting your feet in the grass and looking at the clouds like moving and see the shapes like you used to do when you were a kid. But like, be playful, have fun. Life doesn't have to be that serious. And especially if you're dealing with health issues, chasing joy is gonna go further than trying to find the perfect diet ever will, okay? So learn to have fun, learn to make it lighter, and make every day a celebration. If you're making meals that you don't like because you're on a journey, that doesn't count towards living a good life. Find foods that are healthy, but that you also love. Okay? And even if you're flaring at everything, I promise you, you can eat foods you love and flare just the same as if you eat the foods you don't. So learn to do everything with love and learn to enjoy it and learn to create those micro habits that are really fulfilling in life. It will change everything. Like, it'll make each day feel longer and more special, and each interaction feel more connected. Like, I went to a glamping site over the weekend. And it was beautiful. Okay, we saw turtles and the most epic sunsets and like horses like walking on the beach. And it was just absolutely beautiful, like no sargasso, quiet and peaceful and amazing and in nature. And all I saw at the entire glamping site was children lying in hammocks on their phone, parents on the beach with their families, everybody on their phone at the beach, at the freaking beach, okay? Nobody lives real life anymore, and that's why people are unhappy. Get off your phone, guys. It's Satan, okay? Watch the videos you gotta watch, learn the things you gotta learn, but the trap is living a fake life online instead of enjoying the real precious moments. Hours can go by doom scrolling, and yet if you try to sit there doing nothing in nature, 10 minutes feels like 5 hours. Life doesn't jump by quickly, guys. Time doesn't fly. You are squandering and wasting time with mindless things that are jumping time and stealing hours, days, months, and years that you're never gonna get back. Focus on micro habits, get off your phone. This is what's gonna make your life so much better. The next is kind of similar and doesn't require that much of a whole like explanation, which is do thoughtlessness, nothingness in nature while you're grounded. I don't recommend lying in the sun for 40 hours and scorching yourself, but you could take a half an hour of sun or something. Then you go in the shade, feet in the grass, reading a book, listen to the trees, or doing nothing at all, even better. Just existing in nature for like half an hour a day. And I promise you, most of you, if you try to do this, are gonna feel so bored. Half an hour is gonna feel like 3 hours. Your mind is gonna keep trying to go to your phone. It's gonna keep trying to go to your tasks, trying to go to your errands. I want you to take 30 minutes, even if you work an office job, you eat for 30 minutes, you have an hour lunch, you eat for 30, you can even go to the park to eat, and then you sit outside and do nothing with your feet in the grass for the other 30 minutes, and you exist in the middle of your day. If you can't take 30 minutes to be who you are and experience the environment and the world and your senses, then your nervous system's really rattled and you need to practice 5 minutes, then 10 minutes, then 15 minutes. And everybody should be able to sit for at least 30 minutes in quiet solitude without meditation, just with perceiving your environment. It will be so healing and it will make you so happy. The next, on top of it, you're going to be grounding, getting electrons, getting the sun, having more serotonin, feeling happier, light codes, biophotons, fresh air in nature, out of EMF, so many good things, okay? So on top of it, it's amazing for your health. The next, this one's going to be slightly different for men and women. I did a very specific in-depth video on my platform about men versus women and how to heal disease. It's totally different. We're not going to talk about disease here, but if you guys are interested in that, everybody tries to do the same approach, and how men need to heal versus how women attract healing is very different. So if you guys like this kind of video, I have a lot of videos like this in my platform. Like I actually just did a couple of really cool videos that I think some people on here who are writing me in the comments are actually gonna like. Last week's one was about dysmenorrhea and period pain, like super in-depth, what's actually going on and how to get rid of it. And the ones that are coming out for the next 3 weeks, I just filmed the third one. I always film a little bit in advance for my membership, is Living Forever, How to Build the Centenarian Gut Microbiome. Okay, so if you're dealing with gut issues or whatever, check out these videos. I also, the one I just filmed today before this, is about the best step-by-step gut remedy and biome rebuilding. Like for people that are like, I tried everything. There's no reason to still have problems. Like you haven't tried everything. It's specific steps. I share exactly how to do it. And if you do exactly every single one of those things in the exact order that I tell you, it's only a matter of months between where you are now and being better. So check out those videos. Like they're really, really epic, guys. I can't share that stuff on social media here. I already share the most of what I can share on my Instagram. You guys are welcome to follow there if you want more like health-based stuff, but I'm super blocked over there too. Like they're always like, I can never share links and like there's all this stuff. But anyway, and I also shared a depression specific video in way more detail than I'm going to talk about here. Like this kind of video, I share videos like this, like since my YouTube days, I have like I don't know, like 300 more videos probably, like at least, or 250 maybe, like hour-long videos with in-depth step-by-step, like how to fix everything in your life kind of thing, okay? So if you're into biohacking, you're into like finally getting well, all those things, you want any specific protocols, join the membership. Even if you join for a month, binge watch a bunch of stuff, download everything in the resource vault. It's all free in there. You can keep it. It's like 1 million ebooks and stuff. And then, you know, you can cancel your membership anytime, but like watch those videos if you're still dealing with health stuff, because I can't answer health questions here. But if you join in the membership, there's a Facebook group, I answer stuff there. I can make specific videos on topics that you want in weekly video drops. And you can like see that video, you can like, you know, screen record it and keep it long term. Like you don't even have to be a permanent member, but that is the way to access what I got going on in here to share with you guys. It's related around health. Because I know a lot of people are like asking me health questions. I'm doing my best to answer it, but I'm trying to like be able to share again on social media things that I think will really help people without being disease specific, because I'd like to continue having this channel. And I also do share all those things in my platform, right? Like every week in detail with whatever I want to say, unfiltered. Like it's so nice, right? So if you guys want to see even updates about my personal life, all that stuff, check it out. But anyways, so men, in order to be happier, you need to chase dopamine. Not cheap dopamine. We're not talking about horno over here. You know what I'm talking about? We're not talking about self-enjoyment all day long and being unproductive and getting nothing logistical done in life. We are not talking about spending all day on, dating sites and talking to girls you're never going to execute on, okay? We are talking, or video games or any other senseless fake dopamine frying your brain and your erections, okay? None of that. You are going to dopamine seek like a warrior mofo. That means you are going to get shit done because testosterone rises, men feel good and happy and amazing and fulfilled, and most of all, their biggest wound, which is not enoughness, suddenly feels like hyper capableness. Okay, I'm amazing, I'm powerful, I can get anything done, look what I did, look at me, I'm awesome. It boosts self-esteem, it boosts testosterone, it boosts courage, it boosts capability, it impresses all the ladies or the other men if you're interested in that, it doesn't matter. But all around, it makes you a better man and it will make you feel infinitely better about yourself. Dopamine is the nervous system regulating hormone for men. That's why we have so many, I hate to use this word, it sounds awful, but kind of like loser dudes doing cheap dopamine fixes, okay, instead of real dopamine stuff. But the cheap dopamine fixes, they damage your brain, and the healthy dopamine things of actually creating tangibility, they grow wealth, they make you fit, they make you strong, they get you good partners, they make you happy, they make you feel like you're actually bettering the world, and they create a better world. So chase real dopamine in activities like creative projects, doing things for your partner, working on your body and your fitness and your health and your strength, learning new skill sets, like you can take Taekwondo or you can do whatever you like, being more active in the society, donating money, helping with causes, helping to make things better for other people. All of those activities like writing down lists of errands and tasks and getting them all done in a day, those kind of things will make men feel really good. Now for women, if you try to seek dopamine, you're going to become the most dysregulated human on earth, okay? You know this because a 15-item list that a man nails in a day makes him feel like the man, and a woman can do 35 things on a list, and with every additional thing, she will feel more and more overwhelmed and more stressed. 3 things on a list that a woman has to do in a day overwhelms her. 50 things on a list for a man motivates him, okay? At least if he's a healthy man. If you get overwhelmed as a man, you got to start doing testosterone building activities. And eat foods and stuff. Unrelated topic. But women, don't try to get stuff done, okay? You're not going to feel better getting stuff done. You are going to feel better when you offboard doing so many things. Women in general tend to overdo, over-accommodate, over-nurture, over-sacrifice, and over-ignore themselves and their needs. We tend to hold in our pee forever and push lunch because we have deadlines to meet. meet, whereas a man is most likely to stop, eat his lunch, stop, do his workout, stop, fill his cup when he needs to eat. His relationship to his needs is, I'm starving, need to eat now. It's not to ignore for 4 hours. I mean, some men, but for the most part, no. But women are always in a deficit, okay? Not putting themselves first by default. So actually, what you need to do is seek doing less, being more. What regulates and makes a woman incredibly happy is oxytocin seeking activities. Hugging, cuddling, sex, time with partner, time with family, bonding with friends, shared activities, shared adventures, going to someone with your problems, talking it out, cuddling with your pet, like any love-based or nurturing activity like babysitting or taking care of animals or taking care of children, or self-care, pampering yourself, hugging yourself, massages. Anything relating to physical body pleasure and experiences, delicious foods, delicious sensations, delicious experiences, delicious music, soft, delicious clothing on your body. Things that feel viscerally good, physically and sensation-wise good. This is what's going to regulate a woman. The more you do, the more you worry about the dishes and stress about the laundry and how you have the deadlines and work and being there for your husband and doing everything for all your kids, you will become the most haggard, miserable version of yourself ever on earth. So definitely stop doing all of that craziness and instead focus on oxytocin building activities. So the next is tell your negative thoughts to shut the F up. Okay? Literally tell them. So I'm going to share a little secret with you guys. Some people are going to call this hoodoo. But we're in a world that deals with spiritual and psychic attacks. We are in a world that deals with some hoodoo energetic stuff. And even if you don't believe that, there's physical stuff that can affect your frequency and your mindset and your thought processes, like tracking on phones and computers and feeding you certain content that triggers certain thoughts and algorithm, and also things like EMF and chemicals and all the things that are happening in the environment, okay, the heavy metals and the this, that, and the other thing. But our minds are under attack. So if you want to truly be happier, what you need to do is stop feeding those negative thoughts. And when those negative thoughts come in, imagine they are like a demonic entity and they are just throwing a thought in there that's not really yours. You need to name those thoughts, your thinking body. You name it something that isn't you. Okay, mine is Jean-Luc. I don't know why, I have nothing against Jean-Luc's. It's just I'm from Quebec. It was the first thought that came in my mind. You can choose anything else, okay? You can choose, Rebecca, or you can choose like Cornelius, or you can choose picturesque, okay? It doesn't even have to be a person name. I just name it a person name. And anytime I think cyclical, negative, recurring thoughts, limiting beliefs, I just turn to my thought like it's a different entity than me. And I say, shut the F up, Jean-Luc. Not today, Satan. Okay, not happening. We don't think like that. And I cut it off. If you just run on your unconscious programming that was designed by most of our shitty parents, not mine specifically, mom and dad, I love you, but let's be real, okay? They all had shortcomings in those days. Like by the patterns that you learned from your parents, that you learned from your shitty school teachers, that you learned from your shitty first relationships, that you learned from your shitty jobs and bosses and painful friends and whatever else, okay? That you learned from online and from programming. If you just run on automation of where your thoughts take you, you are never going to have a good life, okay? Let's just be real. You got to hone in your thoughts. You got to hone in your focus. You got to choose to be grateful. You got to choose to focus on the positive. If you're just cycling negative thoughts all day long, it doesn't matter what you do in your physical reality, you are not going to be able to get a handle on it. So the easiest thing I have found to be effortlessly happy is when I have unhappy thoughts, unholy thoughts, okay, and we all do, I turn to Jean-Luc, poor Jean-Luc. I have nothing against people named Jean-Luc. I don't even know anybody named Jean-Luc, weirdly enough, from Quebec. How come I don't know a Jean-Luc? So it's not even like a negative association or anything. But I turn to Jean-Luc, okay, and I quite literally tell him to shut the F up. And that's it. It's like I say, no, we don't feed this. And it was like I commanded a demon away because I swear that the thoughts tone down. And if they come back again, no, Jean-Luc, I said no. I don't consent. I said no. Like a crazy person in the subway. Nobody talks to me. But like, you can do it in your head, okay? You don't have to be screaming like, no Jean-Luc in the subway. Although, if you ever feel like someone's going to attack you or come at you, the best advice I can give, especially if you're a woman, but really anybody, is if you feel somebody's targeting you, start talking to yourself. Start yelling to yourself or yelling at nothing. It totally wigs them out and they think you're crazier than them and they don't approach. This tactic I've used many times is just pretend like I'm like all creepy eyes and I just start like yelling at nothing. They will not target you. They don't know what a loose cannon you are, you know? So that's a good safety measure tactic, actually, you guys. But yeah, don't feed your negative thoughts, name them something that isn't you, and you tell that person to shut up, okay? And that's it, that's how you control it. The thoughts will come, but the more you tell them to shut up, the less they'll be able to stay. Thoughts recur because we continue thinking and thinking, we never interrupt, and then it becomes a pattern, and it becomes an automatic program, and then we run on it automatically the same way as we do when we like lock the house. When we leave in the morning, we don't even remember that we locked the house. It wasn't even conscious. We don't even remember how we got to Starbucks to get our coffee. We just somehow were there again. Everything is on automation and your brain just knows the route, and it's the same thing with your thoughts. So you got to start interrupting and replacing, and you got to treat your thoughts like a demon with a name that is not coming in today, okay? And that's how you gain power again. And eventually those thoughts come less and less. Like, I've been able to interrupt enough thoughts that I don't get those same cyclical thoughts anymore. It like, Jean-Luc can't infiltrate, you know what I mean? It's like when they try to get you and they try to get you the thoughts, but you don't feed it, eventually it dewires and it's like, no. Like as soon as it was gonna have that thought, it moves to the new thought that you interrupted it with. It just becomes like an automatic sequence. And it doesn't take that long. And also it's pretty funny. Like many times I'll even say it live with people. Like let's say someone is saying something to me and I don't know, hearing their negativity, and I'll turn and I'll be like, you need to tell your Jean-Luc to shut up. Like this is not helping your situation. Or even I'll say something and catch myself saying something maybe negative to someone else. And I'll be like, sorry, shut up, Jean-Luc. We don't think like that. We don't focus on that. And they'll just like laugh, you know? Like, obviously I'm not a crazy person who actually thinks that there's a Jean-Luc inside my brain, but it's a nice way to make it like funny for everybody. And this is a technique you can share with other people. The next is witness and don't react to situations. Emotions are transient, and almost all of the drama and conflict and fights and chaos that exist in our reality come from us reacting and responding to something unpleasant versus just watching it, feeling it, and doing nothing. Now, there's a caveat to this, okay? Because anybody who knows me in real life, who has crossed me, is gonna know that I'm not exactly a pass-over person, okay? I'm not a pushover, and I have a very sharp tongue. I have the biggest heart, but a very sharp tongue. So if someone comes at me sideways, I can just put people in their place, okay? And if you are exceedingly good at that, like sometimes I am without even meaning to, people will get so embarrassed and afraid they won't come at you again, and maybe never come at anyone else again either, because you've just made them afraid to be the a-hole that they are. So that's an option, okay, too, if you guys want to learn that skill set. But even more powerful in general is to not get triggered and get sucked into negative energy. Like I talked about earlier in this video, there's a lot of NPCs, there's a lot of shitty people out there. You could spend your whole life reacting to the guy in the grocery store, the guy that cuts you off on the street, like your boyfriend having a bad day or girlfriend. You know, your mother-in-law having a moment and having a judgment on your life. You know, your landlady being pissy and yelling at you about the laundry machine. You could be in a tizzy all day long. And the reality is, when you witness instead of react, it is so freaking powerful. Conflict cannot ensue. Conflict automatically and chaos requires a party of two. One person creating chaos in their house is not creating chaos, they're just spinning in circles. But in order for you not to have chaos in yours, stop reacting to what people do to you. Practice the art of just saying, okay. And even if you feel triggered AF, just go quiet, just breathe it out. In 90 seconds, maybe up to a few minutes, the feeling will go away. You replace the thought, like the feeling also, like Jean-Luc, no, you know, you can do that too. I usually don't. I just feel the feeling and get creepishly quiet. And then I just work to calm my own nervous system because I mean, we all get triggered, right? We do. It hurts our feelings. We're human too. But just witness, don't react to the hurt. And it's really hard to do, especially if you're a lady. Guys, I feel you. I'm a 90% fire in my chart. I'm a Leo. I'm extremely passionate. I'm super emotional. I'm extremely heart-centered. I feel a lot. I was watching the turtles this weekend go into the ocean and looking at the turtle's face after 4 hours of giving birth, like dragging herself so far through the sand. And like, she was just like, and her like face like crumbling in defeat, desperate to get to the ocean, but 2,000 pounds, so nobody can help her get there. I don't know how much they weigh, I forget. But it was just hard. I was like the only person crying watching the turtle. I was like, do you feel her suffering? Like, this is like feminine energy, historical suffering embodied in like a dinosaur-like miracle, like underwater creature, you know? Like, it was just so intense. So I have a big heart. But at the same time, like you can feel a lot, but when you feel a lot, it's easy to react a lot. Okay. I used to be an extremely reactive person. I still struggle. I'm not going to lie, you guys, like my impulse is like, boom. Okay. So I've had to tone it down quite a bit. But like, for example, I'll give you guys an example. A long time ago, I was with a partner years ago and we were filming a video outside my apartment and he had a drone going. And it was making like a loud noise. And this was in the craziness of a few years ago. And this whole family of people from France heard the drone on this back street in Tulum, okay, filming just me, like some workout video for like a course I was selling or something. And they come running out, yelling and screaming. My partner, Latin guy, okay, ego flare, starts screaming at them and it just escalates so quickly. And even though I was also triggered, like I'm on a back street, we're allowed to, like they were so invasive, they were freaking out, they thought the drone was like coming to get them. So me, instead of getting upset, I watched it happen. I put my hand on my partner's chest. I said, breathe, step back, just give it a minute. This is not helping. With the lady that was just like in hysterics, I could see by witnessing it, instead of getting into the reaction, watching them all react and me witness, I was able to see clearly what was happening. My boyfriend had a really big wound of being told what to do and losing his freedom, and women screaming at him in general. I know, because I yelled at him quite a bit. He didn't like that one, but well, he deserved it sometimes. And the lady, this French woman, clearly she was very fearful of like dystopia with everything that was going on, and drones like spying on her. I don't know, maybe they were some kind of special family. Who knows why she was freaking out like that, thinking the drone was spying in their window when it was just following me on the street. But once I saw her fear, because I didn't react and I witnessed, I was able to calm her down and explain to her, we're filming a video. Like, I'm a freaking naturopath from Canada. It's for a course. Would you like to see some of the footage? We quite literally, we're not filming you. You know, you can relax. And I spoke to her in French and blah, blah. She calmed down within like, I don't know, 21 seconds of speaking to me. And it was just escalating nonstop with my partner. And only because I wouldn't have seen her fear and his biggest wound at each other, I would have just seen two crazy people. I would have been yelling, and the yelling would have gone on for 2 hours, and nobody's wounding would have been addressed, okay? So every conflict is usually a wound or a trigger or a pain point that's hitting against someone else's pain point. And usually there's not that many people involved that are like truly horrible people. It happens. We all know the narcissists and the psychopaths. Yes, we do. I'll make videos on that. But for the most part, it's just wounded people wounding other people, okay? Freaking out, wounds against wounds. And when you witness, you can see what is your wound, what is their wound, what is their true intention. I mean, I have jumped to react so many times, assuming the worst because of my own wounding from partners or other things, only to come when they explain to me why they did the stupid thing that they did. I come to realize that actually they were trying to do something for my highest good, and their way of thinking is just very different than mine. And I was like shocked, and they're visibly upset because they've been perceived wrong. And I'm like, wow, that makes so much sense also for the way they think and what the other thing they did. Why did I assume the worst? A lot of conflicts happen because we don't witness, we react. So try witnessing instead of reacting. You can react calmly in 20 minutes from now, in an hour from now, in 3 days from now. But if you witness without reacting, escalation will never happen. You'll be able to be much happier, much more at peace, and you won't spend days fighting with people, losing sleep, upset, in dramas that are not belonging to you. Don't come in here, baby. It's a butterfly. I don't know, butterflies are always coming in my house and I have to try to catch them and put them out. I love butterflies, but I don't like when butterflies come and die in my house. So yeah. The next is realize it is all in your mind and choose happiness. What you focus on is what you will witness. And if you don't believe me, think of the orange car theory. I use this as an example. It could be the yellow car theory, blue car, who cares? If I'm on the highway with you in a car on a road trip and I say, hey, count how many orange cars there are, you will start counting and you'll start seeing orange cars and orange trucks and orange everything, orange signs. All of a sudden, orange is all you see. Then 10 minutes later, if I say to you, how many blue cars did you see? You're going to be like, none. There was definitely blue cars, but you were only looking for the orange cars. So when you think anything at all, I'm sick, I'm ugly, I'm broke, whatever it is, okay, on repeat, all you're going to see is that reflected back at you. And even if there was plenty of signs that you're beautiful or that you're abundant or that you're healthy, you know, like maybe your leg hurts, but your shoulder is fine, you know, but you're not going to pay attention to the shoulder. You are honed in on that leg. So even if life wanted to show you that you're healthy and resilient and okay, or life wanted to show you that you're attractive or that you're successful or that you're loved or whatever else, if you are always thinking the opposite, if you are always believing the opposite, if you're always putting credence to your thoughts, well, guess what? That's all you'll ever be able to witness. If you spend all day thinking about your headache, you are only going to feel endless headache. If you get distracted and laugh and watch a funny video, your headache goes to the background. You still have it, but it's not the main player anymore. It'll go away much faster. So stop thinking about things you don't actually want to create and recognize that it really is all in your head. Like there have been times where literally things have seemed awful in my life. I'll give you examples like I was in debt and had to claim bankruptcy and the government was attacking me and I was losing my whole channel and I had gained weight and I was bloated and I had done a water fast and my skin was bad and I had lost all my hair and my ex-boyfriend wanted nothing to do with me. Okay, I could go on. I'm not going to for my own self-esteem. But it seemed like everything was wrong. And I was like, oh my God, everything is horribly wrong with my life. Well, guys, everything was actually right. That guy was wrong for me. I needed to gain all that weight to learn how to love myself apart from just how I look and all my value being based on appearance. Okay, being hideous for a while made me learn a level of self-love that being cute never did. I quite literally needed to have, with all due respect, I'm gonna share, like have my stuff go private because I was not making any money online. I would have kept doing it for the rest of time out of love, helping millions of people. I don't think you guys understand. I was answering like 300 to 500 emails a day. I was sleeping 2 hours a night. I was like getting sick again because I just wanted to help everybody so bad because I was a bleeding heart and everybody wanted free information. Nobody wanted to pay for anything. Everybody just like, you know what I mean? There was no fair energy exchange. It was just me bleeding out in every way, energy leakage, like 800 million people pulling on me, and me dedicating every living, breathing minute to helping every sick person that ever reached out to me for free. And I was starving, not surviving, not making money, super stressed out, being attacked by government. I couldn't find balance in my life. I was crying a lot because of all the hate I was getting and also all the pressure I felt. At one point, I had like over 200 people I was trying to help one-on-one, mostly through like 30 emails a week for free, back and forth with each one of them. I mean, it was just crazy. I was taking responsibility for everybody's health stuff. And there was no exchange where I could actually travel and have any kind of semblance of a life or even afford good food. It was just a one-way bleed out. So I saw it as, oh my God, I'm losing my channel, my baby, everything I worked for. And I had to like put so much energy and effort into building a platform. And I was so depressed that I had to charge people. And it was like a nightmare, guys. It was like a soul crisis beyond, okay? But at the end of the day, it ended up being so much better for me. I have way more balance. I have an amount of members I can manage. You know, like the people that really value the info, they do join there. If they're serious about healing, what's, a small amount of money every month for 1-2 months while you get the info and then you move on with your life healthy. You know, for people that are serious, they spend way more money on Starbucks, you know? So I like had to realize, and then it became more balanced. I run a business, but I have staff that can help me. It's not all on me, because I couldn't afford staff to help me with the YouTube channel because I wasn't making money, you know? So it ended up being a blessing. You know, it all ended up being a blessing. My hair that fell out was unhealthy and dry anyways. My hair has since grown back silky and luscious. I mean, it's short now, I cut it, but you know what I mean, okay? So many things got better. Like all that stuff that seemed like it sucked so bad was actually a blessing in disguise. So it's all in your mind. I should have seen the joy in it. I was still alive. I still had family that loved me. My parents were still around. I still had pets that loved me. I still had tons of friends that loved me. I still had tons of people online that were supportive and helpful and just like, you know, sad to see me go and there for me while I went through all these different hardships. Like you guys, the community, my members, everybody was so awesome and amazing. At least the 95% of them. There's always going to be that 5% crazy pants, but we can't control those, and it's okay, and who cares? Unbothered, remember? Point one. So just remember, you can choose to be happy. I have been like the hottest, healthiest, most financially abundant, like happiest relationship version of myself, and felt depressed at certain times in my life. And I have also been like fat and unattractive and miserable and just grateful to be alive and feeling happy that I survived certain things. Like I have been happy when I'm sick and miserable, and I have been miserable when I'm healthy and good. So I know that it is a choice, and you can choose to focus on what you do have, because you always have something, even if it's your eyeballs, your feet. If you don't have eyeballs, well, it's your ears, whatever you choose, okay? But it's all perspective. When you realize it's in your head and it's the orange car theory, and that what you focus on is what you're going to keep getting tomorrow and the next day and the next day, you reframe to what you want to experience. You choose love, you choose joy, you choose gratitude, and your whole life will get better, I promise. The last one we're going to cover, and I was trying to do a shorter video, but I can't. I can never make a video less than an hour. I don't know what's wrong with me. Oh my God, like a short is never going to happen on this channel unless I'm silent. Just me looking out the window for 30 seconds. So the next one is actually using what I talk about in my platform all the time in a multitude of ways for a multitude of conditions, is using stabilizers, okay? They can be supplements, they can be minerals, they can be neurotransmitter balancers. We're going to talk about a couple of stabilizers if you're truly dealing with mental health problems or just like severe sadness and you need a mood boost, okay? And yes, there's other things that we could talk about, like microdosing and kratom and other things, but they tend to be a little more gray zone. So I'm going to focus on the ones that actually are going to be like building blocks and be supportive. So if you're low serotonin and not taking antidepressants and stuff, be careful, talk to your freaking doctor. I don't want to recommend neurotransmitter stuff when people are on meds. It can be a nightmare, okay? But if you're just virgin supplement person, you can try for low serotonin, St. John's wort. You can try saffron supplement. Saffron's amazing, especially as you get higher milligrammage, like around like 100 to 100 and between 100 and 200 milligrams, just like once a day. Huge mood boost, okay, like massive. You can try if you're dealing with low dopamine or ADHD or low attention span and things like that. Mucuna pruriens or L-Dopa or Kapikachu, it's called in Ayurveda. It's the same supplement. It is a dopamine booster, okay? So you can play around with different mood boosting agents. Some people also play around with the ketogenic diet if you're really struggling with mental health. Like I have my moments where my mental health is not as good depending on life circumstances and things, but for the most part, I do okay on a varied diet. But if you're a person who's like extremely sensitive to blood sugar swings and things like that, then maybe trying a nutritional ketosis diet for a period of time, if that works okay for your gut. Like I remember when I did the carnivore or keto challenge like a while ago, I was happy the whole time. I had no period cramps that month. My inflammation went to virtually nothing. I had boundless energy, not like right away the first week, but afterwards. My skin was like at an all-time beautiful. I just did way better than I do when I'm eating like a lot of carbs and stuff, you know? I mean, I love carbs and I love to eat whatever, and I'm living the whatever I want lifestyle because I just want to. But yeah, like in general, when I do fermented foods and lower carbohydrate, it doesn't even have to be keto, but just more vegetables and protein and avocados and blood sugar stabilizing like carbs and, you know, versus having like pancakes and me like the obsessor of maple syrup. Wait, oh my God, it's very windy outside. There's a hurricane out there. Just kidding. Shut up, Jean-Luc. There is not. But yeah, so you can try some of these different supplements. For me, my favorite ones are probably saffron and 5-HTP a little, but I find it numbs me out. It's strong. I don't need Capicachu or L-Dopa because I'm overly ambitious and driven, and I'm trying to tone down my dopamine and replace it with oxytocin as much as I can because I'm really like a get it done biatch. But yeah, so you play around with it. When I do Capicachu, I'm ludicrously happy and running around getting way too much stuff done, and it is unbalanced, okay? But if you're a person who's like has doom scrolling issues or like you know, horno addiction or things like that, then the Capicachu can be really helpful. So I hope you guys like this video. It might have been a little like all over the place, but hopefully it was helpful for you guys. I know a lot of people are feeling down in the last little while, and it's been a difficult time, especially like recently. I feel like the last few months have been tough for people. I don't know, I really feel that. I myself have had some struggles on and off. And so these are habits and behaviors and thought shifts that I'm working on in my own life on a regular basis. Some of them I've nailed, some of them I have not, and I'm working on them actively. But these are some of the things that I share in my videos, like my 2026 glow up plans and like all the like private videos that I have in my platform, go into way more detail about these kind of concepts, how to level up your relationships, like many different things. But I'll be sharing more on here too, especially like the non-controversial things, like these types of videos. So let me know if you like it, if you guys want more stuff like this. I'm sending you so much love, and I'll see you in the next one.